I'm excited. Today we're working with colors. So before we get started, I need to let you know what we need for today's lesson. I want you to get into your art packets and pull out your crayons. I have a big box. You have a smaller box, but you still got some good crayons. I need you to get your worksheet that looks like this. And then I need you to get your Play-Doh. You have a little Ziploc bag that has 3 colors of Play-Doh in there. And the other thing that we need for today is clean hands. So get your hands clean, pause the video, get yourself all set up, and we'll start together. So today we're going to explore and create using the element of art, color. And we're also going to be using some materials and learning how to use those appropriately. So those are our learning targets, so let's talk about the Play-Doh. When you work with something like this in an art class, these are the tools that artists use. It's not just a toy to be forgotten and played around with. We're actually going to be creating some art with this material. And as we get older, we're going to start using model magic and we'll use clay. Right now, we've got some good little chunks of Play-Doh we're going to work with. But that also means when we're done today, we have to make sure that we zip it up. Because putting them away, if we don't do a good job zipping it up and air gets in here, then it's going to dry out and we won't have it for the next project in the next lesson. So get yourself all set up. I think we're ready to roll. Okay, the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to choose our favorite color out of here, and we are going to put our name on our paper. You can put the date any way you want to. You can put the specific day. I'm doing this video for everybody, so I'm just going to make it generic. All right, the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to carefully look at our stuff here. We have 2 blues, 2 reds, and 2 yellows. What I want you to do is open your bag carefully. Don't rip it if it's tough. Be very polite to it. Ask it nicely to open, and it should work. I would like you to pull out 1 blue, 1 red, and 1 yellow. If they've squished together, just be careful and try not to squish them together more and try and separate them. Like I'll have to do a little work on that there. Then I'm going to lay my bag down and zip it up. That way these will stay nice and moist. All right, I've got some letters on my page, don't I? I have an R, I have a B, and I have a Y. Where should we put our Play-Doh? I'm going to put the yellow on the Y because that's the first letter of yellow. And R is the first letter of red, and B is the first letter of blue. So there we go. What we have right now is 3 colors, and all the other colors come from this. So now we've got them on our letters. I think we're ready to roll. So I'm going to take one of my little chunks and I'm just going to play. I'm going to squish it a little bit, kind of get that feel for how I can mold it and make it do things I want it to do. I'm going to put it in the palm of my hand and roll it around lightly. Notice how I'm not squishing it real hard. That's just going to make it a little pancakey. But if I put it in the palm of my hand and I just roll really nicely, I'm going to make myself a little nugget there. And I'm going to put that back down there on the red. Why don't you guys give that a try? And you can do it with all 3 of the colors. Don't mix the colors yet. Before we really get into the project, I want to just point out something to you. These 3 colors here are the primary colors that all other colors are made from. If you see a color in nature, it has at least 1 or 2 of these colors in it. So repeat after me. Ahem. The primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. Red, yellow, and blue. Red, yellow, blue are the primary colors. The next thing we're going to do is I am going to take out my second piece of red. Now I've got a little bit of yellow on there. I'm not going to worry too much about it. I don't want to squish them together yet. So I'll just pull it. Oh, there we go. Now I don't have a lot of red here. Some of you have bigger chunks, smaller chunks. We just have what we have. What I want to do is I'm going to take this one and I'm going to split it in half. So I just rolled it a little bit so that I can kind of figure out where halfway is. There we go. And I'm going to take these two. They're going to visit with the mama, and then they're going to go off to the sides on those little circles. So I took my second piece of red, I split it in half, and I put it on either side of the red. I'm not going to put it down there. I'm going to put it on either side of the red. Now I'm going to take the blue and do the exact same thing. I'm going to kind of put it in a way that I can get halvesies on it. And then I want to put it, let's see, there's only one opening, but you know what? That's okay. I want it to go on the other side, so he's going to go visit with that red right there. I'm going to take my final piece, and I'm just going to set those two little things to the side for just a second here. Get this nice and ready to split in half, and then put some on either side. There's my yellow, put them on either side. So right now this is what we've got. And since these have red and yellow in them, I'm just gonna put that right over there. Next step, ooh, this is the good part. So if primary colors are red, yellow, and blue, we're going to make the other three colors. I'm going to start with this one right here. I'm going to have to work it. I'm going to squish them together. Now make sure that you still have one red that stays red, because you're going to need that next week when we do more with our Play-Doh. And as I smoosh it together, and I kind of rub them a little bit as I mix them, I don't want to see just yellow anymore. I don't want to see just red anymore. What I want to do is see a whole new color. I'm so excited, look at it. Now I'm going to make a little ball. And there is my new color. So now I have an orange. I want you to make a guess. What color do you think these two are going to make? Let's find out. Ta-da! Green! So if we have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, what color is left? Purple! So now I have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. My purple is really dark because I had a lot of blue and a little bit of red. So it kind of depends on how much of each of the primary colors you have, of what shade of secondary colors will you have. The last thing I want to do is go to my crayons. You guys are going to have an easier time of it. And I want to put a little mark in here. Get my red crayon, and right here, I'm just going to put a little circle around it. Then I'm going to flatten it down, pick it up, and put it in the bag, right over to the side. I'm going to do that for every single color. Okay, now that we know that when they mix together they make new colors, we want to be careful that when we put them away, we don't put them all squished together, because then we're just going to end up with a big old muddy dark brown color lump. And we want to have these colors for next week. So I'm going to lay them flat. I'm going to press some of the air out, and then I'm going to hear that click and feel that zip it up. I want to make sure that there's no air getting in there to dry out my stuff. And then I'm just going to put this back into my art packet. And now I can color. Now the trick is I can only use red in the red section. So I'm going to color this whole section in red. Maybe I'm going to do some of those line patterns that we already know how to do. But since I can only use red in here, maybe I do some dark red, some light red. So if I have a green in my hand, this is the section I'm going to color with green. So after you have zipped it up and put it back in your art supplies, go ahead and color it in. One color for each section. Use some of those lines and patterns that we've already discovered and already worked on this year. Make sure your name is on it and the date. Ooh, hard to see that. There we go. And make sure that you clean everything up. Also know that these are supposed to stay in your art kit until next week. Please don't pull it out to show your parents. I know you want to, some of you just want to play, but these are specifically designed for each lesson that I have planned. So now that we have our 6 colors of the color wheel, we can do something different next week. All right, so when you are done with your picture, I have a fun and interactive art journal this week where you get to drag the colors. Remember, the primary colors are red, yellow, and blue, and then you can put them in order on another spot on the art journal. Okay. So you're going to color in your paper, fill out the art journal, turn it in. Color your paper, fill out the art journal, turn it in. And make sure everything gets put away. You can put your paper, after you get a good picture of it in the art journal, you can put this back in your art kit as well. If you have a pocket folder that you want to keep track of all your artwork in, that would be awesome. All right, I can't wait to see them. Yay, colors!